Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, it's never been more trendy to start your own company, but of course all great startups need investors. We'll be talking to the president of a national angel investor community. He'll be talking about his organization next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I remember when I was going to college all those years ago, they didn't offer a single class for entrepreneurship. These days, you go to any campus in America, and that's the spotlight is on entrepreneurship. Everybody likes to think that they can be the next Mark Zuckerberg or Mark Cuban, but of course, any great startup needs funding. To talk about that today, Edward Sigmond. He's the president of American Business Network. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Now, you joined, this organization has been around for 22 years. You joined roughly 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And when you joined, and that's like 2009, that's the beginning of the Great Recession. That was a kind of a dark time for America.
Yes, it was. It was a very difficult time for America. There was not very many deals getting done during that period.
And why did you join?
Well, actually, I got introduced to the organization by another friend of mine. You kind of hang out with people that do some of the same things that you do. He was an entrepreneur. I've been basically a serial entrepreneur most of my life. And he was part of the organization, I don't know how many years before me, but we were friends, and he just said, hey, I'd like you to take you to one of these luncheons of this organization, the angel investor organization I belong to. And so he did, and I was immediately hooked.
And now you're the president. We're going to pull up the website, and as we look at the website, you have 22 chapters across the country with monthly luncheons. Tell us what happens at these luncheons.
Okay, so our format at these luncheons is that we have 3 founders that come in, and they pitch to that chapter's angel investor group. And the format is basically the three founders get 20 minutes plus 10 minutes Q&A to pitch their deal to those angels.
And we're all familiar with Shark Tank, so it's a little bit like Shark Tank. You actually have to have a good presentation to get funded.
Oh, absolutely. Now, it's not like Shark Tank in the sense that people are there giving them an offer to fund their organization at that moment in time. Really, how we work this is that those founders get everyone's name, email address, and telephone number of who attended that luncheon. And then it's really up to them to contact those members and chase what I refer to it as chase their money down. Certainly at the event itself, there are people that may stay over after it's done and have some discussions or whatever. But it's not a one-call close. I mean, there's not really offers right there to fund it. It's a process. And it's a long process, generally speaking. It's not that somebody hears your pitch and 10 minutes later they're ready to write you a check. It doesn't really happen that way on Shark Tank either.
No, it doesn't. We got some video from our library of startups. Let's talk about the idea that Gen Z especially. So many of them want to start their own thing. They don't like going to corporate America and doing the 9 to 5. So it seems like the timing of your organization is perfect for this next generation of entrepreneurs.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we like to look at ourselves as being what we refer to as industry agnostic. And also, I mean, you know, it doesn't really matter of age or whatever, but certainly a lot of the tech stuff that we're seeing is coming out of the much younger generation, and it's really very impressive. I mean, one of the real fun parts about being part of our organization is getting exposed to the deal flow that we get through our contacts, and it's just really very exciting, even if you're maybe not interested in that certain sector or whatever. It's still really very interesting to sit down and watch what people are doing and the innovations of stuff that they're coming up with.
Absolutely. I would think the networking alone, and there's learning and watching how people present and how angels react. Let's talk about the outlook for 2025. I know I saw a survey this morning that said business optimism is reaching new highs. What are you feeling?
We're very excited about what the future looks like here. You know, I've seen a lot of deal flow coming in. We see a lot of things that are lined up for 2025. I'm looking to grow our organization with not only members but also chapters. It's actually my goal and objective to have 50 chapters in the next 3 to 5 years and grow our membership to about 3,500 members. So I'm very optimistic of what the future is bringing here for entrepreneurship.
You can imagine if Mark Zuckerberg was at one of these meetings when he was starting Facebook and actually took angel investor money, what that money would be worth today.
Oh, yes, everybody would be multi-millionaires, if not a few of them billionaires, right?
Yeah. Well, any final thoughts? What would you like to leave people with?
Well, you know, being part of an organization, well, first of all, I think we're seeing right now that angel investing is becoming another asset class. Just like people say you should have a certain amount of your money in real estate and gold and, you know, mutual funds and whatever the case may be, we're now seeing angel investing as being being defined as another class. And so if you're really a $25,000 to $100,000 investor in an early stage of startup company, you really don't want to be a lone wolf. It's much better, and there are much better opportunities if you're part of an organization. There are many around the country. We would like people to look at the possibility of joining us, but there's a lot of benefits of being part of an organization than being out there trying to do this on your own.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Edward. We're going to end with the website, which is, of course, AmericanBusinessNetwork.net. The great Edward Sigmond. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.